Hiya, and welcome back to Moonlight Castle, the game that teaches us that we have the power of God and anime on our side. Thank you, Lug, for giving me that idea. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Punt Lacritora for the funnies. No! Don't punt him. I love him. A special ghost. A winged dragon looked down on us from the ceiling. His clothes seemed outdated, like a getup that didn't match our time period. He slowly descended but never touched the ground. Dylan called him a ghost, but his body was casting a shadow. This person looked alive! I wasn't planning to show myself after what I witnessed last time, but your peculiar soul got my attention. I felt dizzy. Something he said was resonating inside of me, but I struggled to identify exactly what it was. Have we met before? I have no recollection of meeting a dragon like him before, but his voice did feel familiar when it shouldn't have been. My mind was going through contradictions. Yes, we have. Yet you return once more, laying waste to the gift I granted your group. A gift? What is he talking about? Dylan mulled it over. His face suggested that he knew what it was. He's the one keeping us away from each other. To uphold the pair thingy? You know about? I kinda know. Don't ask me why. I just do. The dragon's empty monotone voice made me feel he lacked any kind of emotion. Interesting fellow. His eyes also didn't have any pupils in them. Where's the curse owner? He stared at Dylan and closed his eyes. The question was heard loud and clear, but something stopped him from sharing the answer. You'll fail again if you persist in walking the same path twice. I am unable to provide further assistance. Prove your resolve to the castle and we shall meet again. He didn't let us reply and vanished completely. My mind was peaceful now, like nothing had ever happened in the first place. Dylan sat on the floor, and thinking grunts followed suit. What that ghost said affected him too. Is everything alright? He didn't reply, but gestured for me to join him, tapping the floor with his hand. Something's bothering me, I want your opinion. That flattered me because it came from Dylan himself. I complied and did what he asked. Can I ask about that ghost first? He was casting a shadow on the ground below his feet, wasn't he? Ghosts can get stronger over time thanks to the curse claiming lives. When that happens, their bodies regain some sort of physicality, but they stay confined to where the curse exists. They're in this limbo between dead and alive, but they can't go back to life, if that's what you were thinking. So, resurrection was too crazy even for them, I thought while stifling a laugh. Thanks for clearing that up. I'll have to pay more attention next time I see him. Maybe there was a real distinction that I might have missed. Now we should be discussing what the ghost said specifically. Dylan huffed, growing increasingly angry after hearing my words. I won't fail. That little shit wants me to give up because otherwise he would die. And you're a dumbass for thinking I can be defeated just like that. I didn't want to say, but I could easily come up with one way to get him in trouble. That was if he cared enough to uphold his promise. He told us we already met, but we have no memory of that. I'd consider that a lie under normal circumstances. Hang on, I forgot to mute my phone. And my phone is muted. Yay! Yes, it's a ghost, but it's built different. Lie under normal circumstances, but I've been saying things that don't make sense either. Things I shouldn't know are just coming out of my mouth. And you also have a deal you don't remember making. There's only one kind of deal that can cause memory issues, but... He looked uncertain, cracking his fingers while mulling it over it. There's no way. You don't understand the price you'd have to pay to make that happen. Just say it. I've heard that reminding time is possible in extreme cases. These situations can't be recorded, for obvious reasons. They can be figured out by looking at the clues. I rolled my eyes, finally connecting the dots. He didn't really care about me doing something this crazy. If what I'm thinking is right, I never thought someone could look so angry and disappointed at the same time. That means I really did fail. I rolled them again. That's not the problem here. Yes, it fucking is! If I did my job right the first time, you wouldn't need to risk your life at all! That came out of nowhere. I turned away from him to hide the flourishing redness on my cheeks. I knew that using my hat would cause him to instantly pull it away from me, calling me a wimp or something. God damn it, that's so humiliating! Why does that fucker still remember it? Did he make the deal? Or is it because he's a special ghost? He was too focused on processing that loss. Could I do it again? Dylan stopped, realizing that I was serious, and laughed at me. Ha ha ha! That'd be a one-way ticket to hell! The fucking laptop! Hang on! I'm turning on the webcam. I'm turning on the webcam, because... I gotta laugh about this. I gotta laugh about this. I'm sorry, I have to. The fucking laptop, not this laptop. Let me grab the other laptop. The fucking laptop. No, I'm not gonna grab it. It said, "Do you want to install the updates now?" Fucking App Store. Fuck off, App Store. Nobody cares, least of all me. Running macOS Big Sur. You're an old as hell MacBook Air running macOS Big Sur when you shouldn't be. You should be running Mojave. But I misclicked. So now you're running Big Sur. And I don't feel like losing everything. Aww. I want to reset the universe. I gulped in response. Was it that dangerous? My plan is going to change or else we won't be able to leave. So try getting those memories back as soon as possible. Yeah, that made sense. We needed to know what was the reason this happened in the first place. Okay, I'll do my best. We can't all be Dave. Dave wasn't even time traveling, though. He was just fucking dying over and over. We killed him, like... Oh god, how many times did we kill him? How many times did we kill him? We killed him, G... 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19... Hang on. Math, so there's 7... No, he doesn't count. 7. Roswell, Hoss, Sal, Tyson. We killed Dave 17 times! We killed him 17 times! Okay, I'll do my best. Dylan stood up and headed for the staircase. That already stirred a reaction in me because I felt like that location was both good and bad. We're looking for the basement, right? He hummed back in agreement. But we're going upstairs. He gave me a toothy smile in response, a mocking look that quickly got on my nerves. Didn't I tell you? Ignoring you did feel like the smartest thing to do. You didn't! You told me everything about the door portals and you even summoned a ghost. I froze. Those images flashed through my eyes. I couldn't believe how powerful of a motivator pettiness was. You're right. I sensed a neutral entity nearby. I did too. It was a weird feeling, but it didn't hurt. I was starting to believe that all the pain I experienced last time was coming from my seal. You're a little freak. Please don't say that. It hurt in different ways, including ones that I was sure didn't cross his mind. This time, I saw at the moment we ventured into the hallway. A blue ghost just floating in place doing absolutely nothing. That was the impression someone would get just by judging its appearance. But deeper inside I could feel a turmoil, a greater pain he struggled to handle. The curse itself, it was painful, destructive, and impossible to fight against. Hey, come over here! I understood why I needed to scream. Lost souls tended to be prisoners of their own minds, so loud noises were required to get their attention, but I also knew making noise was counterproductive. You're going to alert cultists. Dylan was taken aback for like a couple of seconds, then his sharp senses acted faster than his mind could process. Didn't take long until he swiftly got rid of him. Yeah, this already happened before. Interesting, so you know about this too. Rewinding sure's convenient. Won't have to bother explaining anything now. But things have changed, I think. I think you talked to the ghost first. Does that matter? I was going to do that now. I'm not sure if it will matter. The moment Dylan tried interacting with the ghost, he faced the crocodile, ignoring his shouts and floating to me. I'm killing this bitch! It doesn't feel good to be ignored when you're on the receiving end, huh? Shut up! I always appreciated the way Karma operated. So... There he was, staring at me with those eyes I wasn't able to see, only feeling them when they were on me. I'll give you mine, just show me where the basement is. He tried swaying the ghost away from me, but I jumped in before he could. No, I'll do it. Do you even know how? There's no way I taught you that. You didn't. I shoved my arm inside the ghost, but I watched you do it. He facepalmed, bothered by my initiative. You're pushing your luck. We don't know how much soul you possess. Do you want to collapse or something? I ain't carrying you if you do. That was fine. I felt genuinely better than usual. Like the seal removal was the best thing that could have happened to me. The ghost suddenly got brighter, as strong as a flashlight. It blinded us for a couple of seconds. I shielded my face with the other arm until it died down and I could see again. I stared, not sure I was able to comprehend what this meant. No effing way. Dylan, why are you saying effing? Just say fuck. Dylan, why? Why are you saying effing? Just say fuck. Just say fucking. Just say no fucking way instead of no effing way. He walked closer and approached us both. The ghost moved away from my arm, so I lowered it. What? Did I mess this up? No, you didn't. His voice completely changed. Was that an accent? Those messy emotions I had sensed before also disappeared. That entity floating next to me seemed to have regained all of its depth and personality. You purified a lost soul and created a wandering spirit. I'm free? I was this close to dying, yet you... I felt relieved. I was so worried that I'd done something bad. We were all shocked, but for different reasons. Don't you dare pass on without helping us first. I would never! I will show you the way, just like you asked! So, why is he white? The ghost looked at Dylan, expecting him to teach me, but he rolled his eyes, faced away from me, and gestured at the ghost and said, Wandering spirits are always white. That's just how we always look. Dylan called you something else, though. Aren't you a lost soul anymore? People killed by the curse are lost souls, doomed to die again and become fuel. People killed by different means have a chance of becoming wandering spirits, the normal kind of ghosts. Oh, so the color thingy is because the curse is hurting you. Ah, shit. My laptop lagged for a second. Let's settle on that, yeah. The point is that mediums shouldn't have enough soul to purify a lost soul that easily. I just wanted to avoid making you tired because you told me that this is a draining technique. It fucking is! How are you holding up? I shrugged. I didn't experience anything. Is this normal? I just went from everything hurts to I'm invincible. I was exaggerating to get my point across. Do I look like a fucking doctor to you? I don't know and I don't care. He sounded jealous. Oh my god, he is so jelly. Start moving, I want to get this over with. There's a lot of cultists in the way. The basement is their home. Are you sure about this? Why would you put yourself in danger? I'll kill them all! 3 cultists are moving in our direction. They've noticed us. Dylan grinned, cracked his neck a few times, and waited for them to enter our field of view. Nothing changed. This feeling of deja vu never went away, and that stressed me out. I was supposed to change something, or this mission would fail again. Dylan did exactly what I expected him to do. He was a skilled fighter, and nothing else seemed to match that talent. Then I noticed how only 2 cultists were actively fighting Dylan. The third one seemed weird, moving around him without engaging. By the time I noticed what that cultist wanted to do, he was already too close for my liking. Dylan shouted, and that also felt familiar. Shut up and focus on your fight. I'll be fine. I said that to avoid more distractions, but I had no idea how to deal with this honestly. It became a staring contest as he slowly approached me, while I backed away to keep the same distance. Use this! He tossed a sword to me that landed at my feet. I wish I could have caught that before it hit the ground. The cultist stopped and waited. I understood the situation clearly. He wanted me to pick it up. But that was exactly what I did before, didn't I? Things were blurry in my head, and I struggled to remember what happened afterward. Why the fuck are you lagging, laptop? You shouldn't be lagging. Why are you lagging? Laptop hates the vibes of this bozo. Laptop says no to streaming today. I'm gonna have to shut it down tonight. This thing should not. I need to replace it, but I can't. Oh well. But that was exactly what I did before, didn't I? Things were blurry in my head, and I struggled to remember what happened afterward. Did he chop me down with his axe? I have to focus and pay attention to him. Yeah, I know. His stance was weird. It didn't look like he could cut me down. By the way he was holding his weapon. What if he didn't? I had to test this immediately. I stepped forward and ignored the sword. The cultist backed off. His stance wasn't going to work with me closing up on him. Reached for his weapon and grabbed it. It was so goddamn heavy! I couldn't believe this caped weirdo was able to lift this so easily. We were wrestling, trying to take control over the axe and disarm the other. My advantage was in the simple concept that I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to use his weapon to kill him, and I didn't have the strength to either. I was also holding the heaviest part, which helped me pull off my next move flawlessly. Gravity also contributed, and I forced the weapon to hit the floor. Before he could attempt anything, I drove the blade in deeper with my foot. There! Now what are you gonna do? The cultist gave up on the axe and decided that using his fists was easier. Was this really an improvement? I had thankfully wasted enough time for Dylan to clean everything up and kill the cultist who punched me in the face. Who wanted to punch me in the face. You didn't take the sword. I awkwardly laughed, understanding that, from his point of view, I did something bad by going in without equipment. I'm sorry I couldn't get it. I watched for a little while to see how you deal with him, and that wasn't bad. Just weird. This fucker had been watching instead of shoving a knife in that cultist's face? I hated how this man acted sometimes. You're fine, don't look at me like that. He couldn't see my mental wounds. Seems like you're capable of taking care of yourself somehow, which is a relief. I'm not a child. He looked at me like I had said something strange. I don't get it. I blinked, unsure of what in that sentence was unclear. You know, children can't take care of themselves? I see. That was such a reluctant agreement. What was his childhood like? That was the only question in my mind. Something is happening near the basement. I'm sensing a lot of movement. They're running away, that's all. No, that's not it. They both turned to me, waiting for me to elaborate, but I struggled to do so. I could feel a gap in my memories. Something did change. There was a strong presence ahead of us, something bigger than the cultists. It gave me a slight headache, warning me of a dangerous presence nearby. It might be their leader? That's perfect. This makes my job easier. This way then, follow me! The closer we got, the weirder I felt. Their numbers began dwindling. Cultists were disappearing from my perception, the same way they did when Dylan killed them. Was I wrong? Did I make the wrong assumption? Oh shit! Hi bitches! Hi bitches! How are you? Can you not be here? That would be great! When they entered our view, the first thing we did was seek refuge in some place that kept us hidden for the time being. We hugged a column while the ghost just phased through the wall. Is that their leader? He whispered to me like I was some sort of oracle. I had never seen that man before, since the feeling of deja vu left me a while ago. A rusty, bloody armor covered the knight's entire body as he dragged a giant sword across the hallway. He left pools of blood wherever he stepped. His breathing was deep and labored, exuding genuine pain every time he inhaled more oxygen. Sinners. A masculine voice muttered words under their breath that I couldn't understand. That couldn't possibly be a ghost, right? He was much scarier than the cultists we just fought. Where was that blood coming from? I just hoped it didn't belong to any of our friends. The knight cut through all three in one swing. It was a slow attack, but deadly because the sword he carried was just that big. They were fighting. Weren't they on the same side? I didn't think ghosts could have their own agenda. Then he's not the leader, but my blood sensing levels are off the chart. That thing is just as dangerous. He was holding his nose, plugging it as hardly as he possibly could. Should we tail him? We can take advantage of this. If this guy triggered a conflict of some kind, that would allow us to freely explore without being caught. He seems like a tough enemy. I'm down for some stalking. The way he immediately went for my suggestion worried me. He had done this before. You didn't even bother labeling it as studying our enemy. Stalking sounds more appropriate for me. I won't follow you into the basement. We're parting ways here. Thank you for guiding us. Leave the castle through the main entrance or you will be destroyed, regardless of your form. The sudden pause and lack of response suggested that the ghost was unaware of this fact. Take care. I didn't even ask his name. I'm going first. I'll check to see if the knight reaches the bottom. If he does, I'll have you join me. I nodded and he peeked his head into that dark staircase, slowly climbing downward until a hand invited me to join him. When that stale oxygen entered my nostrils, I knew things were only going to get worse now. Laptop, why are you lagging? Why? Those steps were small, tight, and slippery. One wrong move and it would be a ticket straight to hell. No cultists needed. Okay, laptop, you're actually starting to piss me off. You're slowly starting to piss me off. Hang on. What is running that is taking up so much CPU power that it's causing... What's running? I have to know. What could be so important that it's killing my CPU? All this looks... It's Windows Defender. It's Windows Defender. It's Windows Defender. This thing would die instantly if you made it play Genshin. A lot. Dylan pulled out a flashlight from his bag and pointed it down. I can hear them fighting. I was struggling too much with my own emotions to notice. This would be the scariest shit I've ever done, and I wasn't ready for it. My brain internally screamed at me over and over to turn around and run. The closer I got to the end of the staircase, the louder it got. I wasn't in pain, but I experienced an overwhelming variety of different emotions all at once. I wondered how long it took for him to develop enough tolerance to just push through it. Hi! I thought the cultists were here. Did he wipe them all out? Why do you keep returning? That voice gave me the shivers. Something about it terrified me. Only my stepdad was able to make me feel that way before. The knight didn't answer, just let out a big, long, drawn-out breath as he waited for the owner of this voice to act. I'm trying to be reasonable. Because we both serve the king. But I will not tolerate anyone entering my territory. His voice was loud, deep, and menacing. The sound echoed everywhere, making it impossible to pinpoint the source. I will not ask again. Leave my domain. I am in charge of the lost souls, and I will handle all sinners assigned to wrath. We kept watching, eager to see where this would go. The knight didn't budge. You've disrespected me long enough. I will let our swords speak for us. That was him. The leader of the cultists showed up out of nowhere, a three-headed beast that wore almost nothing but some pieces of armor and a cloth. Do I need to censor it all? Like, this is a genuine question for anyone who knows the answer. Do I need to censor? Oh, thank you, cats. I'm putting my trust in you. The patterns on his head, combined with his black fur, it gave me an ethereal vibe similar to the one his followers did. He summoned two giant axes, which he easily wielded without any issue, thanks to his 4 arms. What? Our agreement clearly states that the underground belongs to me. You have no business hunting here, stealing my prey. He grinned, an evil-looking smile full of arrogance. Very similar to Dylan's. Then he began bashing the knight effortlessly. It was an overpowering flurry of blows that a normal person could never endure. I was feeling pain just by watching it on the sidelines. The knight grunted and roared in response, then swung his sword in a circular motion, in the same movement I've seen him use before. The cultist simply jumped away, displaying great dexterity for someone as big as him. At that moment, I began realizing how inadequate I was for this mission to begin with. Was Dylan even truly capable of handling this? Your armor isn't the only thing rusting away, huh? The knight proceeded to swing again, unaffected by anything his opponent was saying. His opponent dodged it all with ease. His attacks were too slow and never had a chance to land. That was until the sword extended as it traveled, cutting the cultist in half. Oh, is that a new trick? Aren't you a little too old for gimmicks? The cultist just laughed it off while his severed body just floated. Floated. He placed himself on top of his legs and simply reattached himself. Shit, was this cultist immortal or something? No, I needed to use the knowledge I gained from this instead of freaking out. He had to have a core, just like everybody else. We'd have to strike the weak point to damage a ghost. The core only Dylan could see. He tapped my head and pointed back at the staircase. Dylan wanted to leave. I was guessing he changed his mind, or maybe this was a different plan. Staying here was dangerous. Their fight was escalating and we could suffer collateral damage. Leaving so soon? Don't you know it's rude to leave in the middle of the show? Oh, you know we're here. My heart skipped a beat. He could see us all along. Dylan shielded me with his body, readied his knives, and walked backward. The knight groaned, gave up on his fight, and also approached us. Shit, this was somehow worse than last time. Hang on. Let me check something. Okay, we're all in the same VOD. Okay, that makes my life so much easier. Cultists blocked our escape route. The only exit we were aware of, at least. I understand. You got bored of watching and would rather join us, so here's a few friends. The leader kicked the knight away, trying to stop him from touching us. They'll be back soon. Nothing changed, it was just an illusion. Dylan was about to risk his life again just to keep me safe, and I couldn't do the same. I'm going to open you a path. No, I didn't want to go through this again. I knew a kind of twisted ending was in store for us. I refuse to end things like this. I won't. I remember this perfectly. Dylan could only block two at the same time, and to protect me, he let that spear stab his arm. He was going to die because of me. I needed to take that hit, not him. I will sacrifice my body in order for him to win. No, stay back! He tried tugging me away but barely missed me, so he had to watch that spear travel toward my shoulder and miss. It fucking missed! That cultist couldn't possibly have missed a static target. I didn't believe it. He behaved exactly like the other one. They acted differently when the target was me. I suspected it before, but now I was confident about it. Use me. Dylan raised a brow, confused by my wording. Just do it like a shield! He didn't get it at first, but after following my advice and watching them struggle, everything clicked. They weren't allowed to hurt me. That was a feeling I got from before. I was meant to be captured alive, so they planned to knock me unconscious. The motive behind that was still a mystery, but this was our ticket to freedom. Dylan didn't struggle at all thanks to my strategy, but I needed time adjusting to being treated as an actual shield. See, it's funny. The only reason they're not allowed to hurt us is because we have plot armor. We are a furry visual novel protagonist. We're not allowed to die. Unless our name is Marco. Unless our name is Marco. Because Howley, they killed Marco 3 fucking times. That fucker cannot catch a break. We're an FBN protagonist. We're not allowed to die. We're not allowed to die. It's that simple. Death isn't allowed. Dylan didn't struggle at all thanks to my strategy, but I needed time adjusting to being treated as an actual shield. I'll never digest how easily everyone could lift me up. The path is clear! Girl, several Daves died an infinite amount. See, here's the thing. If you die and then come back, then it doesn't count. If you die and then come back, I don't think it counts. Which, in this case, Joel didn't fucking die. Marco didn't fucking die. Chase actually did die. I'll give him that. He did die. Sydney died. Flynn died. Marco from Ad Astra. Yeah, he died. Actually, he did die a couple of times. But he came back, and then we saw our actual death. No, it's just a fact of life. It is a fact of life. Grass is green, sky is blue, Effie and protagonists are not allowed to die. It's a fact of life, and I love it. I thought he'd drop me by now, but he didn't. Hang on to my back, he said, swinging me like a cape before sprinting upstairs as fast as he possibly could. I just clung to his shoulders because I didn't want to fall again. When we crossed through, Dylan stopped, and for the first time, I saw him panting. It wasn't that much, just a little bit. He clearly showed signs of exhaustion. See, Dave, like several others, is the exception because... Wait, no, he did die. He did die, because of the passwords. Wait, no, because they actually did explain that. There's an in-universe explanation for it. So yeah, he did die. Am I really about to go on a rant about how FV and protagonists work? Am I really about to go on a rant? Fuck it. FV and protagonists are not allowed to die. This is something that I noticed. I play a lot of visual novels, both on stream and personally. I play a lot of visual novels. I love reading them. They're like the only video games I ever play anymore. And a lot of the time, especially and this is something that I notice and has been pointed out, FV and protagonists, with quite a few exceptions actually, usually are fucking useless. They are typically season 1 fucking they are season 1 Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go. They are so fucking useless. It's not even funny. But they're needed for the story. Girl, they actually do have brain cells. They have 2 brain cells and both of them are fighting for 3rd place. It's like a horror movie. It's like a horror movie. They don't exactly have the best. They don't have. I'm not trying to insult anyone's writing right here. That is not what I'm trying to do, because writing is extremely fucking difficult. I get it. I tried writing my own visual novel. I fucking failed. I'm not trying to insult anyone's writing. I'm just simply stating that I don't know. I also get like making your characters as much as a blank slate so that way, the reader or player can put themselves into the protagonist's shoes. I get that. And I also understand that it is extremely difficult to do. I also get that it is an extremely difficult thing to do with something as tightly controlled as a visual novel. Other games have done it, and it is not an easy thing to do. Because you either have to make them so emotionless that they don't. You have to make them so You either have to make them so emotionless that it fucking make that purely by comparison, it makes fucking it makes Stone look like it has all the emotions, or standard FBN protagonist. I'm not trying to diss anyone's writing. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just simply stating shit that I've noticed. That said, keep building your visual novels. I love them to death. I will forever keep reading them. You can't stop me. It wasn't that much, just a little bit. But he clearly showed signs of exhaustion. I just flopped on the ground. Somehow I looked more tired than he was, even though I didn't do any fighting. We shouldn't stay here too long. This hallway wasn't safe either. Those two could have joined forces to hunt us down. Get up! Your job isn't done yet! I didn't want to believe it, but my brain could feel all the cultists in the area running toward us. Yes, we will always support everyone and their FVNs. Or just visual novels in general. Yes, we will always support them. We will always support them. Keep writing. Everything that I just said, take with a grain of salt. Take with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, I'm just a guy on the internet. My opinion does not fucking matter. I didn't want to believe it, but my brain could feel all the cultists in the area running toward us. There's no way, that's too many! They won't give up on us, but I'll make them. I appreciated that strong determination of his, but their numbers did matter. We needed to get away or hide somewhere. Can you force a door to become a portal somehow? That'd be very helpful, but that's an ability only ghosts have. But it is possible then. Let's force one! The problem is that they don't know how to use it right either. For us, it could lead anywhere. That's why it's unreliable. I could try. He casually phased through the wall. Yes! 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 Kiko, I think Keiko. Mr. Developer. Yes! Yes! This word right here. Yes! He casually phased through the wall, waving a small greeting while we were on edge. Yes, for fuck's sake, do it! I've never done it before. Are you fine with going anywhere? I hated how chill he sounded. I was freaking out instead. Anywhere's fine! I can feel a strange portal without connections. I think I can attach it to this door easily. And done! Both Dylan and I felt it, a strange energy like a current shifting around, moving and converging through the same door we used to enter the basement. Get in, hurry! Dylan shoved me inside while he spoke to the ghost. That would be awful out of context. Shout out to this random ghost. When I got up to say my piece, he had already closed the door on the ghost and all I could hear was silence. Nothing else. You really need to stop with the throwing Joel around thing. It didn't work the first time. What makes you think it will work the second time? Dylan didn't reply, but at least he acknowledged me. His fatigue was more visible now as he took longer pauses to breathe. Putting anything creative out there takes a lot of courage. Huge props to anyone brave enough to do it. Yes! Yes. Gonna put this out there. As a creative myself, and I'm not talking about reading visual novels and reacting to them. In my opinion, I don't find that creative, per se. If you're going to put any sort of creative work out there, you are extremely courageous and brave for doing so. Dylan didn't reply, but at least he acknowledged me. His fatigue was more visible now, as he took longer pauses to breathe. I need a moment. Yeah, understandable. I scouted this new room we were in, and immediately felt something weird, like it didn't belong here. I struggled to find an appropriate way of describing the feeling. I just wouldn't think we were in a castle when I walked around here. I felt like I was in an abandoned house instead. We eyed the lone chair near the entrance, unsure if it was capable of holding Dylan's weight, but we tried regardless. It creaked and complained a little, but didn't break. Better! I sat on the floor next to him because I was also exhausted. I have to change my strategy. Brute force won't work, not right now at least. He never stopped planning. His body might be resting, but his mind was doing overtime. I was sure there's a lot to talk about that we hadn't touched yet. That giant beast dropped a lot of important intel. He was aware of us all along, yet he shared it anyway. Someone else is in charge, that's a fact. They wouldn't defy their creator. They called him their king. Have you noticed how they all follow a medieval theme? I don't know anything about history, I haven't gone to school at all. Oh, I felt really bad for saying that. He had dropped many hints that his life was basically on the streets, and I kept forgetting that. But you did it now. You're attending university, isn't that great? I expected a smile, but the one I saw was forced, almost sad even. I'm not. What do you mean? You asked me to lend you my notes, I spent time in class with you, and even taught you how to make them yourself. I can attend because some teachers allow visitors to stay and participate. I'm not a student, but I like to play the part. I wanted to know how it felt to be on the other side. I wanted to blurt out an apology, but I knew that wasn't what he wanted to hear. Have you ever taken an exam, then? Never. Those are reserved to students. I smiled as something silly popped in my head. I wasn't sure if he would care, though. Would you like to try? Dylan snorted, the seriousness of my question catching him off guard. Are you stupid? Who wants to do something like that? I would. I can easily make one for you. Are you hearing yourself? This is like playing house or some shit. Yeah, you might be right. Would you? But you would still see something close to the real deal. Isn't that what you want? You want to see what living a normal life was like, not necessarily the exam itself, and I wouldn't mind doing it for you. And if I say yes, what will you do? Then we can organize something together. He quieted down, trying to hide his badly disguised blush through a scowl. Fine. Then I heard crying, a heartbroken sob filled with despair. I was speechless. I didn't think Dylan was even capable of doing that. Oh my god, I didn't mean to! It wasn't me, you idiot! He was so close that his scream stunned me for a couple of seconds. I covered my ears and walked into the other room deeper inside. Sorry. Dylan immediately stood up, eyeing something behind me. Now that I had recovered a little bit, I felt it too. Another ghost was staring us down, and that crying was hers. Just like the other one, she had no distinguishable features. Just a faint blue silhouette of what may have looked like a living being in the past. Fragments of my memory surfaced back. You look just like him. Her spectral hand moved in my direction, and I extended mine. We couldn't feel each other, but we pretended we did. Blurry, tired, empty vision. Help me. I'd love to help, but what was I supposed to do? Talking with ghosts seemed to be all I could do. How? Your body. Let me in. I immediately sought Dylan's opinion, because this sounded like possession to me. Don't be too hasty. We don't know anything about this one. True, what would she ask for that? Why would she ask for that instead of sharing some of my soul? Didn't feel right. The ghost vanished before I could give a reply, and now that she was gone, something was trying to get my attention. I walked closer and saw the blue ring Liam was looking for. Oh no, that means... Of course she's dead. It's been 3 years already. Have some tact, please. I know, but the confirmation hurt more than the theory. I'd still hoped for the smallest possibility of finding her alive. I grabbed the ring and felt a gentle aura around it. There's no doubt about it, she was inside and trying to keep herself from fading into nothingness. That sounded so cruel. Was that the ending for all people who had died to lose themselves and disappear? She acted so confused, losing the ability to recognize yourself, holding tight to those fragments of what used to be your identity. I didn't want her to experience death again. She could have been my guide and ticket to survive the night. I slid the ring onto my index finger. Are you even listening to what I'm saying? Don't yell at me if she's Liam's sister then! Doesn't matter! Don't treat ghosts like living people! Okay, please stop, I'm tired. Dylan sighed and went back to his chair, trying to deal with that bit of anger I had caused. Ghosts don't stay the same as long as they exist. Some get corrupted and their personality twisted. It's fucking stupid to blindly trust a ghost like that, no matter who they were before. His reasoning made sense, I just felt somehow confident that nothing would have happened. And it didn't. I was fine, nothing has changed. Heh! You have to give that to Liam, pull it off. True, we were supposed to report to him about his sister. Her body is missing, though. Weird. Dylan waited for me to hand over the ring, but I struggled to remove it. The impatience soon became frustration. He was really doing his best not to scold me twice. For fuck's sake! Please don't tell Liam! I honestly don't want to hear him bullshitting us either. He pinched the bridge of his nose. He was too exhausted to hold that anger for long. Just for tonight, then. I'll be coming over to your house the next day to get that thing off your finger. He was the hero I didn't deserve. In more ways than one. Is a ghost in there? Has she done anything? I shrugged, unsure of how to even answer. I didn't feel anything. Whatever, let's go back to the safe room for now. It will keep every kind of ghost away, the one in your body included. How? This room doesn't seem to have any other doors, just the one we came from, and the moment we go back in, we'll be greeted by a wave of cultists. No, we won't. They might still track us down, but we have the advantage here. I asked the ghost you purified to break the portal once we crossed. That's why he stayed behind. The moment we open the door, we will automatically connect to another door in the castle. And don't ask which one. Oh boy, that meant running again. Dylan gave a look that confirmed it. Ready? I'm about to open it. That's too convenient. The ring felt really warm. I think she did that. No, I still don't trust it. No matter how much you want to sell it. I wasn't trying to... My sentence was suddenly cut off by my hand floating like it had a life of its own, which freaked me out. See? I told you not to mess with it. I instinctively pulled my hand back to my chest. I held still for a second and felt that warmth from the ring again. I wasn't trying to seize control over my hand, but rather it was guiding me somewhere, so I decided to let it go and see where it would lead me. Then I noticed that just my index finger was moving, and everything else just followed along. Took small steps as I tried guessing where it wanted me to go. What are you doing? Seeing where it wants me to go. I pretended not to see the disappointment in his face. The hand stopped in front of the boulder blocking the entrance. You want me to touch it or something? The temperature slightly shifted. No, wait, that can mean anything. Without a proper definition, it was up to interpretation. Make it hotter for yes and colder for no. The ring warmed up. Cool, you actually understand me. I should have whispered more. They were looking at me again. I'm not insane, I swear. There, my hand is on the boulder, so was there anything I should... What the fuck? The boulder began fading away, just like all the ghosts I've seen so far. Were the rocks fucking ghosts too? Are you shitting me right now? I knew what he was trying to tell me, but having to eat his own words so soon must have been tough for his pride. I guess we can say that she's not dangerous for now. I laughed, which only caused his anger to come back in full force. Make another sound, I dare you! That killed the mood quickly, and I zipped my lips. What's the plan now? Are we running? That'd be bad. I have a feeling we weren't supposed to do this. Leaving might save us, but could place the others in danger. Think the curse will retaliate on our friends? Most likely. They can be petty. You know the art of that well. I was frozen in place. How are we supposed to get everyone here in the same place? We were forcefully divided by that ghost, and... Shit, I could feel the cultists. They were on their way to us. Now that they've figured out where we were. We don't have much time. Do it. Get us all back together. Was Dylan speaking to me? No, that wouldn't make sense. He was staring at the ceiling when he yelled that. Oh, I understood what he was thinking. I can promise you that I'll be back and take this whole place down myself. Wonder if that was actually helpful in convincing the ghost. I'm sure he can't wait for you to come back, destroy his home, and kill him in the process. See? You're petty. How's that even petty? Hello? Who's there? A trembling voice came from the direction of the safe room, accompanied by faint steps. I immediately recognized that voice and called back. Clyde, it's us! The ghost of Dwayne Johnson. Oh no! I just saw that. I just saw that message. I'm so sorry. I just saw it. He paced his way to us quickly and with great relief charged into me. Oh my lord, am I happy to see you guys again. Same, Clyde. How are you? Clyde turned around before answering me. Everything's safe here. Come. A few moments later, I saw Patrice peeking from the corner, just his head popping and scouting around. We were about to start looking because nobody returned, except you just now. Nope. Hell no, you do not want to go in there alone. That doesn't sound good. What happened? You two look... tired, for lack of a better word. Not the right time. Get next to the door and run away only when the cultists get here. Cultists? I want to fucking run already! What does that even mean? Guys, calm down. We'll be home soon, I promise. Dylan placed himself in front of the group and readied his knives. They were getting closer, I could feel them, but I also could feel something else in that chaos. Take care of them for me. Huh? Before I could answer, Dylan sprinted back into the hallway, running toward the cultist himself. This was fucked. I didn't want to stay here while he risked his life again. The group needed my intel to let them know when leaving was safe, and that we might have gathered some useful clues towards breaking the curse, but I didn't want to lose Dylan in the process. Is he going to be okay? I saw the look on his face, and we have to believe that he will be. I'll tell you guys everything once we're out of here. We should leave now then, before things get worse! No, he said the moment danger shows up, we run. You have to trust me, please. Patrice looked at Clyde and the dragon nodded. He sighed, trying to get his chills under control by holding his arms still. I hope you're right! The footsteps were getting closer and closer, but one pair in particular was very familiar to me. The usual stomping that would cause earthquakes whenever he tried. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! Ryan and Blake were heading straight for the gate, but I blocked it with my body, causing the bear to plant his feet on the ground as hard as he could to avoid running me over. We gotta go! We're being chased! Dylan is holding them off. Hurry! We're still missing Liam and Russell. Ryan impatiently looked around, clearly prioritizing his own safety before the ones who were there. We really can't give them time to catch up! Wait, just stand your ground. We're all scared here, but Joel is the one asking you. If I see one entering the room, I'm bolting and you're all coming with me, understood? We will. Blake must have noticed the situation just like I did. That's why he reassured the group. His nerves of steel really came in handy right now. Russell thankfully appeared in my vision shortly after. He was holding Liam, who had bloody clothes around his arm. They were aiming for the safe room, only to hesitate when our eyes met. Is the door open?
Dylan, the gate is open!
The Lynx shouted. Russell resumed running and, without saying a word, went past us out of the building. He didn't seem to know that Dylan was already aware of it, but in such a chaotic situation, I didn't really bother correcting him.
Run to the car and don't look back!
The ground underneath our feet was shaking, but there wasn't an earthquake. This was the weight of many people combined that were running in our direction. We left the castle, and I didn't want to meet them.
I'll slow them down. Get running. Get the car ready to move. Hurry.
Heard Dylan's voice, but I was too afraid to look back. We just ran through the forest into the campsite and back to our beginning. My heart was pumping as much oxygen as it could, and I was way too tired for another round of adrenaline. Ryan luckily only needed a button press to start the car. We hastily jumped in and turned it around and waited, facing the road. Where the fuck is Dylan? Should we open the window or...
No, lock the damn car!
But that way he won't...
We need to protect ourselves first, sorry.
Blake took initiative and locked us in. That selfish choice proved to be the wisest one tonight. An army of cultists, the one that had been chasing us down, were now surrounding the car and trying to break inside.
Ryan, listen to me. Turn the car around and hit them all!
What? Don't ask me to murder people so casually! I can vouch for him, they don't bleed or die. Dylan fought them before and they simply disappeared. Among the chaos, I noticed something and pointed it out. Dylan was in that mess, surrounded by a countless amount of them. Shit, he's struggling to get here. Are we going to abandon him?
If you don't do that right now, they'll kill him, Ryan!
Shit, shit, shit! He cursed multiple times as the engine roared and the car drove over these so-called people. What they said was true, at least. They didn't damage the vehicle either. No sound or collision, they just popped out of existence.
Jump!
When the car was close enough to Dylan, the crocodile slashed a few more times with the knives he was holding and jumped on top. They tried doing the same, but Dylan smacked them away with his tail before they could land.
Move!
I'm trying, for fuck's sake! Everyone was struggling to breathe, me included. I could imagine the pressure Ryan must have been feeling in that moment. Patrice was also hyperventilating again, and Clyde tried his best to do some damage control. Let me see your wound. Russell tried mending Liam's wound only for Liam to make space between him and Russell.
I'm fine, don't touch me!
Ryan managed to drive us all away from those people, or at least far enough that we could allow Dylan inside. We all took one big exhale as we watched them becoming smaller and smaller until they were completely out of view. It seemed like they all went through some bad stuff, probably even worse than ours.
We have a lot to talk about, Liam.
I figured.
I'd do it right now, but you're wounded.
You're so considerate. I thought you wanted me dead. It seemed me hurt tickling your conscience now.
What about you? Do you not feel a slight shred of remorse for involving normal people into this?
It wasn't supposed to be like this. I need time to think about it.
This discussion is for tomorrow.
Clyde looked like he had something to say but held it in. We were both mentally and physically exhausted. There was no way we would be capable of holding a proper argument here. Patrice calmed down and the car went quiet again, with nothing but our thoughts to fill in the blanks. I wanted to sleep to shut down my brain, but my body refused to obey me. It believed to be in danger still. That fear of dying permeated not just me, but everyone else too. The ring would have to wait. I'll confess my findings tomorrow when a new day comes. Hopefully I wouldn't stay awake the whole night, staring at my ceiling, afraid of the night breaking into my house and killing me the moment I tried closing my eyes. And there we go. Dylan. Hang on. Wait. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna do that. I'm just calling it. I'm calling it right now. Ryan's next. Ryan is next. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.